Hey folks, high and low here. I'm going to do a quick review of some collapsible camping lanterns. And these things are made by all sorts of different companies. They're marketed by a bunch of different companies. This is, I don't know how to pronounce that, Tinker, T-N-Y-K-E-R. This is Gonex. There's a couple differences that you should be aware of for the different types that you can find, so I'm going to talk about some of that. But in general, I really like these collapsible lanterns. For the most part, you can use them as either a light, like a hockey puck light. There's a little on-off button right here. And they're very bright, rated at about 65 lumens. You can see they're really, really bright. They have a high and low setting. At high, it's about 65. And they have a blinking setting. So you can have sort of an alert setting. Now, the other thing I like about these things is that they are collapsible, and you can expand them out into a lantern. Okay, low, high, flashing. So it's got a nice lantern capability here. And this particular one is solar powered, which is really nice because you don't have to worry about batteries or anything else. You always lose them, they'll always run out, they'll always be dead, or they'll always be exploded when you really need them. So for emergency purposes, this kind of light is really nice to have around because it's almost always going to be there for you and provide you with some really nice lighting. It also has a couple of other features in here. You open up this rubber casing. It has USB ports, excuse me. It has an out and an in. Okay, so just basically your standard micro USB cable. So you can have it come out and charge your cell phone if you want to, or you can put it in and charge it off of any USB cable. You can have that running off your 12 volt from your car, or any other solar battery pack, whatever you want. Anything that takes a USB, which is pretty much universal these days. You can have an in or an out. So you can have an emergency charge for your phone, all that kind of stuff. From the factory, this guy was rated at about 5 hours on high. So when I first got it, I sat it down and turned it on high, and I left it there, and after about 4.5 hours, it started getting really, really dim. Up until that point, maybe 3.5, there really wasn't much of a difference in light. After about 3.5, 4, it started getting dimmer, and then it went down real fast and was dead. So from there, I took it straight out and left it in the sun, pretty much all day. We had real good sun. I left it out there for, I would say, about 6 hours. And it was fully charged again. I didn't completely deplete it again, but I haven't done anything with it since then. That was about 3 weeks ago. So these things stay charged for a long time. Really pretty impressed with it. I didn't think I was going to get 4 hours out of it, but really, it was 4.5, and then it was done. And then, 6-7 hours in the sun, it was fully charged. At least seems to be fully charged again. I haven't done anything with it since then. So really pretty impressive. The only thing that I don't like about some of these is this hanging clip. You can hang it, when it's a lantern. You can hang it like so, but these clips are really, really, at least on some of the models, they're really cheap. Okay, it just comes right off. So not the most durable thing in the world, but it's not horrible. It has little rubber feet on it, so you can stick it there and use it as a lantern. So I'm going to show you this other model here, and that's something to be aware of, is that they come in different types, and you might find one that you like a little bit better. So this one is not solar, it is hand crank, which is real nice if you live in an area that's highly overcast. So if you listen to this thing, that's got a lot of torque to it. This thing is really cranking on something in there, a flywheel or something. I'm not an engineer, but it has a lot of resistance to it, so it's really charging in there. And this one, I've never plugged it in. I've never fully charged it, but it is still bright as all get out. I mean, really pretty impressive. This one, for some reason, doesn't have the three blinky type of thing, but So that's one thing to be aware of, crank versus solar. You have to think about that, what you'd rather have. It really depends if you're in a real dark, cloudy environment a lot, go with the crank, obviously. If you have a lot of sun around, then you don't have to worry about cranking it so much. The other thing to be aware of, and I wish I'd thought about this a little bit more when I bought this one. This is the Gonex, but they're marketed under a bunch of different names. This only has this one little plug right here. If I can get a shot of that. Maybe not. Come on. Sorry about the camera work, folks. But anyway, it has one plug, and that fits this guy. Okay, I'm not seeming to get back in focus here, and that's really kind of annoying me. There we go. That fits this guy. Okay, so this has if you've seen this before, has a male and female USB. Okay, so if you want to charge this, you plug this one in, and then it will fit, other way around. If you want to charge this, you'll plug this one in, and this fits into a standard USB port. If you want to charge from it, charge your phone or something, you plug in the female end, male-female end of USB. So this thing is going to get lost. It's sort of semi-proprietary because it has this little thing in there. So I don't like that. If you're buying these for the first time, I would go with something like this one that actually has the full USB capability in it, rather than this one that has this sort of male-female end USB. This is going to get lost, I guarantee you, and it's a pain to have to try and keep track of it. Other than that, I can't say enough about these things. Every time I really need a light, the batteries are dead, or the batteries have melted and exploded inside the flashlight because I've stored it too long. These things are just fantastic. They're nice and durable. The one other downside between lights like this is, this expandable thing is just sort of a plastic. This is going to go eventually. These little stress points, it's going to break eventually. You can still use it because right here is just a lens. The LED is way down deep in there, so all you need to do is just snap the cap back on there, even though that thing is broken, and you still have your hockey puck flashlight, so it'll still work as a flashlight. And then you can sit it on top of a cup or whatever you want to get a lantern type thing out of it. But eventually, I think that. But I mean, it's collapsible. It's gonna have to be made out of some kind of material that flexes, and any material that flexes is gonna break eventually. So something to be aware of. But it's probably gonna take a while for that to happen. And then just in their hockey puck formation, these things are real tough as nails. They're real sturdy. I've been really impressed with them. So, for any kind of emergency situation, regular camping situation, just having around the house for power outs and things, these things are absolutely fantastic. Go with the crank or the solar power, depending on what fits your needs. But I highly recommend these things. You can get them anywhere from $12 to $20, 15 to $20. And they last for a long time. They're really a good investment just to have around the house or for camping or for emergency uses. All right, hope you enjoyed it.